students. Welcome to a very special lecture series on scientific writing. I'm Dr. Pervaiz Ahmad. This is part number 8 of the series, and this particular lectures we will have a discussion on the practical tips for scientific writing. So let's proceed towards today's lecture. So practical tips for scientific writing. Be remember the first step, which is also considered the most important step for the scientific writing, is the proofread. Proofread. Once you write your research articles, so you should check your paper to catch and correct these and other comments errors. So you should avoid abbreviations by writing out the full words, that is minimum, October, first temperature, etc. So exemption included common terms like ATP and DNA, units of measures like m, g, cm, and c for the centigrade, and mathematical or chemical formulas. So sentence should never begin with an abbreviations or acronym. So these are the common most commonly things. I mean, you should keep in your mind that you should avoid abbreviations. I mean, some of the abbreviations, they are well known. If you want to keep them, so it's okay. But if there are some unknown abbreviations that the people normally don't use in common words or in everyday life, so you better to avoid those abbreviations. So there are some more tips about that you may wish to introduce an acronym for a term that is repeated often. So if your paper deals with the soya beans, glycine max, so you may use the full scientific names once and substitute g dot max thereafter. I mean, for the first time, whenever you are using, so you should introduce, you should identify or you should define your keywords. Afterward, I mean, it will easily be understood by the person who's studying or who's reading your paper. And it's very common. And normally, I mean, when you send your paper to a journal, so and during the peer review, the reviewer normally they suggest that you should remove the abbreviations from the title or from the abstract, and they suggest that it should be put in the introduction sections and should be properly defined when it first used in the section. So this normally suggested by the reviewer. So chemical element are not proper nouns, so do not capitalize them. Only the first letter of the symbol is a capital letter, like we have nitrogens, so we use normally N. Carbon, for carbon we use the capital word C, and calcium, for calcium we use Ca. In formal writing, you should never use contractions like we use in everyday words, that's didn't, can't, and haven't. The word data is plural, as the data were collected on January 21, 2001. So you shouldn't use the words datas. So data is data. I mean, data is even singular or even plural. So whether you use it as a singular or plural, so it's better it's understood. The data is data is it's also singular and plural. Direct quote should be avoided unless you are presenting another author's specific definitions or original labels. You can usually paraphrase the writing effectively and more concisely, taking care to properly attribute the source of your statement. If you do not paraphrase your writing, so you know that there would be a problems reported by the journals because they normally scan your data with the similarity index software. Some of the most commonly software that there may be available, the academics which we are working, the German they normally use authenticate software, which now means which detect the similarity index. So if you really care about your scientific document, so it's better to do the proper paraphrasing of your document. Do not use the sentence from other people work. So read and write your references. Consult a textbook or another reference to help you resolve any aspect of the paper you do not understand before you're starting writing. You should review your writing to make sure that each sentence presents one or two clear ideas. This will also help you organize sentence within paragraph and a logical order. In science, the word significant implies the result of a statistical test. You should analyze your result to determine whether they are statistically significant and report the test you use. Do not use slangs. What it means? It means that you should try to use precise, significant term where possible without unnecessary jargon and avoid idiom and figures of the speech. For example, somewhat rather than sort of, a many or a great deal instead of a lot. Your word processor spell check and grammar check functions is not error free. I mean, if you believe that it will do all the correction for you, so you're wrong because it cannot tell you when to use its and its, and it cannot tell you that a particular sentence does not make sense. So give yourself enough time to proofread and correct your paper. And you should also be careful about the tenses because when describing matter and results, you should use the past tense. The present tense is appropriate for accepted fact, such as the background information is presented and the introductions. And additions, you may use the present tense when you discuss your results and conclusions. So, look where other scientific papers may help you answer questions you might have on this topic. Units, all the unit of measure must be metric or SI. SI means international system. So these were some of the journal tips we have for you in this short lectures. Stay tuned with us in lecture number 9, in which we will have a discussions in scientific writing on the title with the scientific English. I mean, we will try to discuss the importance of scientific lectures and scientific writing. So stay tuned with us. Hope you enjoy a lot and you learn a lot. So see you very soon in the coming lectures. Till then, bye bye.